Okay, that's me right now. Wow. Oh my God, it's in kilometers. Nothing beats that vague smell of cigarettes and trash. Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Welcome from Valencia, Spain. Who would have thunk I'd be on a Honda automatic in Florida and on the Next Generation Scrambler Ducati in Spain, but here I am. And here all of us are. And this is my first time on this brand new Scrambler Ducati. These are the icons. All of us are on icons. And this is pretty much the new version of my bike, the 2023 version. I've got a Scrambler Cafe Racer 2017, and gosh, they've made some innovations since then. The handling is quite similar, but this guy is different. So we're all just tooting around our first go of it, but this is great. So this feels familiar yet different. I did recently, a couple years ago, try out I think it was like the 2021 Monsters during their launch. This feels like halfway between the Monster and my bike. And of course it is my bike, but it's the new of my bike. They did a lot of really cool updates. Yeah, we can get into it later in the trip, but what the heck, I'm in Spain. I'm one of 4 Americans out here for this launch. So that feels pretty special. And I'm getting to be here just representing myself, representing the channel. So if it weren't for you guys, I wouldn't be here. Obviously, I've got you to thank for that. So thank you so much. I would be not even on their radar were it not for the little following that I've drummed up around my bike. Uh-oh. Shit. Well, thank God I'm not stranded in Spain. I didn't know if I should have run that red or what. I keep stopping a little like jerky on this. It's a much more sensitive brake situation than I was initially anticipating. So still getting used to the brakes. They feel really good. They feel super trustworthy. They got the Brembos on these just like on my bike, but I'm sure they've done a little bit of innovating in the past couple years and just making everything better. This bike's got a bunch of different modes, and mine is on the road mode right now. I was kind of enjoying my little personal tour. I'm so cold that I like can't function. I can't believe I'm alive.
I'm falling.
I can't believe how cold I am. I never would have guessed.
Yeah. Are you local here or are you Italian?
I'm from Barcelona.
Barcelona, okay.
It's our California, but without waves.
So what are the biggest differences between my 2017 Scrambler Cafe Racer and the new Next Generation 2023 Scramblers? There's a whole new TFT display where you can toggle through your traction control, your modes, see how much fuel you have left, and even see what gear you're in. And all of those things are new to me. I don't have those features on my bike. This bike also has cornering ABS, and mine just has regular ABS. So this one's got both, which is really exciting. And it's equipped to use a quick shifter that comes stock actually with the full throttle version of the bike, but with the Icon, it is quick shifter ready. The throttle response is also really impressive on this bike. That's a major thing that I noticed as a difference. In terms of look and feel, they really optimized the weight on this bike, and they did that by paring down on the battery, by reducing the engine weight, and even changing out the frame a little bit. In terms of accents and styling, the Icons of course come with all these different colorways. You can swap out the plastic pieces in about 30 minutes and come out with a completely new color for your bike. And while I don't think that's something you would do on a weekly basis, it would be really fun to have two versions of your bike depending on your mood. The new headlight is so cool from both a brand perspective and a functionality perspective. It's just a gorgeous headlight, and it really ties into the whole Scrambler experience. Someone can see this from down the block and know instantly what bike you're riding, and I think that was just a really nice touch. We've also got full LEDs throughout all of the turn signals and brake lights and headlight, and I think that was a really great upgrade. Now, you might have noticed that we've been talking about 3 different Next Generation Scramblers, and there's actually far more than 3 Scramblers. You've got your 1100s, there are more 803s, and unfortunately there's no longer any Scrambler 62s, but I can absolutely see why, because with these new updates to the Next Generation Scramblers, if you wanted that introductory experience, you can kind of just leave the bike in road mode instead of jumping into sport mode, and I think that would give you the approachability factor. However, I don't know if I'm 100% sold on considering this a beginner motorcycle. I think the price point is one big deterrent, and there's of course the sticker price of buying the bike and licensing it and all of that. Then there's also the maintenance cost, and most of us know that Ducatis come with a relatively hefty price tag, and I think the buy-in is worth it, but it's hard to tell if it will be worth it for you if you don't have a lot of experience riding. So it's nice to at least have like a half a season trying out different bikes, maybe borrowing bikes or starting out on something more approachable from a financial standpoint until you kind of see what kind of riding you like to do and what you'd prefer, and if you want to take the leap with the Scrambler. So from that perspective, I feel like I stand by my reasoning that this lineup is so great as a second bike that will continue to grow with you, and that's what it has done for me, and I've really enjoyed it so far. So the things that are the same between the next generation of Scramblers and my original Scrambler, well, mine is the first year they made the Cafe Racer edition, and they did that for I think about 3 years before they phased it out. But the engine displacement is the same. It's that 803cc engine with a 73 horsepower output. The handling has the same breathability, just the ease of use and the comfort factor and the kind of looseness, like the controlled looseness. It's hard to describe, but I just love the handling of these bikes. One thing that contributes to the approachability as well is the stance you take. You're given the space to be more aggressive in your riding position and slightly more standard in your riding position. I think you always will be at a little bit of a forward incline. It's not like a cruiser, but it's somewhere between standard and sport, and depending on your body, you can easily scooch back on the seat if you want to give yourself a little bit more room, or scooch forward if you want to sit a little bit more upright. So if I were to pick one of these bikes from the new Next Generation, I can really imagine myself Leaning towards a night shift, I'm sure that was very predictable. There's some really appealing aspects of the full throttle as well. But in terms of the base, that's most similar to my bike because I really do love my bike. The night shift is a really great launching off point. I'm certainly not one to carve up mountains every weekend. I actually live in a notoriously flat state, and we just don't have riding like you do in Valencia or in the Redwood Forest or Colorado or all these different places that have a lot of twisty, windy roads. So the only limitation I had on this trip was my own ability, and I feel like I could really trust this bike to help me push my own limits and still be very safe and just really like become a better rider in the process of testing out these bikes. And I'm excited to continue to do more trips like this and to expand my abilities and just try to push myself more than I have before. And in that way, I really feel like there's a spirit of adventure distilled in these bikes. They just kind of take you everywhere that you want to go, and there's no second guessing and thoughts of, will this work in this environment? You could theoretically take these off-road if you wanted to. Some of them are better suited for that than others, like the others in the Scrambler lineup. I just think that these bikes are such an excellent all-arounder and a primary vehicle, and I'm just really proud to own one myself. Thank you everybody so much for joining me on this Ducati Scrambler Next Generation adventure. We just got back from a full day of riding. City riding, town riding, mountain riding, all sorts of twisty windies, and this bike did it all. If you've been around for a while, and I'm sure you've been hearing throughout this whole video, I own a 2017 Cafe Racer edition of the Scrambler lineup, and while I do love my bike so much, there are so many advantages to the new technology that they've developed in the last 6 years. It was a great experience on this bike. I found the brakes to be really reliable, all the new updated tech, all these electronics are 100% new. They've just maxed out the performance on this thing. So I had a fantastic time. Love the styling. We were all on these different icon bikes. They come in an array of beautiful colors. And then there's 2 other versions of this bike that you'll see floating around. It's the full throttle and the night shift. So hard to pick a favorite. So you'll have to decide that for yourself. Thank you so much for watching this amazing trip through Valencia, Spain. I had a fantastic time with Ducati, and I hope you did too. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a like. Give this channel a subscribe, and until next time, ride safe.